Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Giggity, real name is Mark, and in today's video, we have the next part of our ranking every weapon in every class in Call of Duty history, and today we are going to be ranking all 55 launchers in Call of Duty history from worst to best. We've done SMGs, which was a big one. We've done tactical rifles / marksman rifles, and we've done pistols, my friend, and now we are doing launchers. I know there's not going to be anybody watching this video, and the people that are watching this video are going to be like, why did I watch this video? I'm sorry, but we got to get it out of the way. We got to rip off the band-aid, man. I'm a completionist, and it'll drive me absolutely nuts if I didn't do the launchers, so we have to do them, and I was like, you know what, let's just get it out there. It's only 55. It's going to be a quicker one compared to some of the bigger classes, obviously, so we're just doing them. Obviously, they have to be in the launchers class to count here, okay? So launchers in World at War and COD 4 will not actually be here because those are perks and not in the launchers class, so those are actually not included here. Also, I want to make it abundantly clear that I mainly use launchers for killing things more than destroying kill streaks, so I know that's not really how you're supposed to play with launchers, but that's what I do, and it's obviously my list, just personal opinion. I'm a casual player with not like 100 hours on each of these launchers, obviously, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. But yeah, man, that's just how I am. As a matter of fact, there are probably some launchers here I've never even used before. I'm telling myself I did, but I probably haven't. Okay, there's probably a couple of Advanced Warfare launchers. I didn't play too much Advanced Warfare. Infinite Warfare launchers, for sure. There's probably a couple in there that I've never used before. So just, yeah, keep that in mind, man. I'm a casual guy, just ranking some launchers, man. Just trying to have some good time. Also, before you think like, oh, well, next video is going to be ranking all the assault rifles in every Call of Duty, right? No, obviously these videos take a long time. This one not particularly because there's only 55, but the other ones are going to take a while. Shotguns, snipers, LMGs, ARs especially are going to take a long time, so they will only be uploaded every once in a while. I keep saying that, but then I like upload one every week, so it's kind of a lie. But most of the bigger ones are going to take a while. And there are, so just keep that in mind, man. It's not going to be every other day. I do apologize, but dude, what do you expect, man? I'm not the Flash. I can't record these at the speed of light. I try talking as fast as I can, but I can't. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. Also, there are some weird entries on this list because for some reason Call of Duty will put something like a crossbow in the launchers class sometimes, so just keep that in mind. But as they are in the launchers class, so they will be ranked here. There was also crossbows in the tactical rifles video, and there's also going to be crossbows in the specials video. They're all over the place with their crossbows, man. They put them in whatever class they feel like putting them in, so yeah, there is some today. Also, some explosives are in the specials class for some reason as well, so those won't be here either. They'll be in the specials video, obviously. Things like the M79 from Black Ops Cold War is pretty much the Thumper or the China Lake, and that's in the specials class, so that will not be here in this video. It has to be in the launchers class, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, just keep that in mind. Also, we're splitting it up into 6 tiers: the awful tier, bad tier, average tier, good tier, amazing tier, and the best tier. Song of the day is called Complicated by Avril Lavigne. I know what you're thinking, no way this guy just told me to listen to like a 13-year-old white girl song. I did. And I'll say it again. Song of the day is Complicated by Avril Lavigne. How do you like that? Said it twice. Go give it a listen. It's a freaking banger. I don't care what I am at the age now where I could not care less about what other people think of me when I'm listening to music. I'm listening to whatever music makes me freaking happy, man. And this song makes me happy. I don't even care. Alrighty. But let's get right into the video. Coming in at the number 55 spot, the dead last, the worst launcher in all of Call of Duty history is easily going to the L4 Siege from Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and it's not even actually the worst launcher in Call of Duty history. It's pretty fine, actually, but the reason why it's all the way down here is because you have to open it in a freaking supply drop. If you open this thing in a supply drop, and you still have hair on your head the next morning, I don't know how you did it. You, sir, are the strongest man to ever live, because I would be punching things. I'd be punching myself, I'd be punching laptops, I'd be punching cups, I'd be punching books. Freaking books, I hate books. I would be punching everything. That's an insult. Again, the weapon itself, not even actually that bad. Let's be real. It's fine. It's whatever. If it was a regular gun that was just released at launch, nobody would really care for it that much. But the fact that this thing, you have to pay like $7,000 just for a chance to get it is insane and an insult. It's getting dead last. Coming in at 54th place, really quick though, one thing I wanted to say, dude, I'm sorry again for the very long intro. I'm trying. I promise. I pinky promise that I'm trying my best to like cut back on filming for like 3 minutes in the intro. I see the comments. I really am, and I'm sorry. I promise I'm trying, guys. I promise. Either way, coming in at 54th place is the Storm Ender from Modern Warfare 23. See, this is a DLC weapon, okay, Call of Duty, and you don't got to pay money for it, so that's good. But it's not good. It can't kill people. It's an EMP launcher, pretty much. Now, I know somebody's gonna be like, well, Mark, did you know there's actually a Jack variant that turns this thing into a shotgun? Yeah, I did. I did, David, and I still don't want to use it. I don't care. I'm not using the Jackberry. Doesn't count anyways. Shut up. It's an EMP launcher that's used to like take out trophy systems. Dude, I'm just gonna shoot the trophy system. Like, why would I ever need this? It is horrendous. It can't kill enemies. It might be able to take down kill streaks. I don't even know. I've never tried. I don't like this thing. 53rd place can just eat my freaking farts. I mean, it just eat my farts. It's going to the Black Cell from Black Ops 3. This is at least an at-launch launcher in Black Ops 3, so credit where credit is due, you know. I don't gotta pay money for it. I'm happy with that. But this thing just drives me nuts. I already don't like the lock-on only launchers. Again, I use them for killing people if I'm going to use launchers. I don't want to take... I might take down a kill streak, but then it's like... I guess I'll just spoil it, man. There are some launchers in Call of Duty history where it has lock-on and dumbfire, so I'm just going to use those if I ever need to actually take down a kill streak. And the Black Cell... It's just like rubs me the wrong way, man. It's not actually like any worse than any of the other lock-on launches. As a matter of fact, you can make the argument that's better because it locks on faster or whatever. I don't know, but I'm not using it. I refuse to use it because of how it looks. Do you see how the Black Cell looks? You do. You see it right now. And stop lying to yourself. This thing looks dorky. Speaking of guns that just look dorky, coming in at 52nd place is going to be going to the Javelin from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the OG Modern Warfare 3. The new one is called the Joker, but it's not even in MW3. The new one is in the MW2. Either way, it's a Javelin. And for those who don't know, the Javelin is lock-on only, but it can lock onto anything. So you can lock it onto the wall if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter. It can lock onto anything, and it can kill enemies with its lock-on, which is pretty cool, except the only bad part is in MW3, that's very hard to do because you have to predict where the enemies are going to be because it locks on and you have to be like a certain distance away, by the way. So you got to be a certain distance away already, which is annoying. Super heavy, super big and clunky and weird to handle. So, but anyways, once you finally get over the handling of this, holding a freaking Mini Cooper in your hands, you can then lock on like probably 200 feet away from you and shoot a missile, but it doesn't go directly at the target that you're locking onto. It goes up in the air for God knows what reason and then comes back down as almost like a mortar shell. And so it takes some time. So you have to predict that they're going to be there, and it just never really works out, and it's just bad. We'll see some better versions of this later on, but this is not one of them. And coming in at the wonderful number 51 spot, barely missing out on the top 50. However, he's going to be going to the Javelin from MW2, the OG. Again, I don't think there's any difference between these two. So yeah, I'm putting them right back to back. The MW2 one started it. It was the first one to do it, so at least it has a creativity bonus, so that's why I'm putting it one spot higher than MW3's version, but again, they're the exact same thing. I don't think there's... I guarantee they quite literally just copy and pasted the exact same asset over. But we'll take this time, though, to ask you guys in the comments below, and I promise I'm not trying to comment bait here, I just really want to know what the people think. I want to start doing some, like, recording my own gameplay videos, almost like Let's Plays on other games, and things like, the first one, for example, would be DayZ, and I really want to play DayZ, and I would record it, and obviously upload it and everything. I've never played it before, I really want to try it, and so, yeah. But do you guys think it's a good idea to upload it on this channel, create a new channel, and upload it on that channel, or just not upload it at all? Again, you're not going to hurt my feelings, man, you'll be fine, don't worry about it, just tell me your honest opinion on what you think about that. Either way, let's get back into the video, I apologize. Alrighty, lads, breaking its way into the top 50, my friends, the wonderful top 50, the beautiful top 50. It's really climbing its ranks up there. It's the Strela 3 from Black Ops 1. Why would you... I'm pretty sure this is a lock-on. Pretty sure. But I don't know, because I've never, ever used this thing. Why would you use this thing? There's no reason to use this thing ever. And then on top of that, it's not even in zombies, which, again, probably because it's a lock-on only weapon, so that's probably the reason why. But either way, no thanks. I'm not using any launcher in Black Ops 1, as a matter of fact. Almost all of them are pretty butt cheeks, but this one in particular, no. Why would I ever use this? Yeah, let's just stay in the family real quick. 49th place is going to the Strela P from MW19. Wow, Call of Duty, I really wonder where you got that name from. Stop with that, Call of Duty. Stop renaming guns and like thinking you're clever and being like, oh, I did it, what I did. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Okay, we know what it is. Strela P sucks. I hate this thing with a burning passion. I know this one's not a lock-on because I tried to get gold for it and it was the worst experience of my life. Gold for any of the launchers in MW19 is already a freaking nightmare. The ones that aren't lock-on, call freaking OSHA or something, because I'm about to commit a crime, man. Call the hospital. Call the neighborhood watch because something's bad. This thing was a freaking nightmare to shoot down UAVs with. No, get it out of my sight. Coming in at 48th place, however, and the final one for the awful tier is the exact same weapon, the Strela P in MW22. Yeah, it's going to happen a lot in this video, obviously. Spoiler alert, but there is like 20,000 RPGs in COD history, so when we get to those, that's going to be really boring. But either way, yeah, the Strela P, man, it's the same exact thing. The only reason why I'm putting it one spot higher is because at least in MW22 you don't have to do 7,000 different things to get it gold. You only have to use it a little bit. In MW19 you got to use it a whole lot more, and so yeah, big middle finger to the MW19 version, like almost like a semi-chub middle finger for the MW22 version. But now we are into the bad tier. So the launchers in this tier, I'm still not using them. As a matter of fact, I'm probably not using any launcher, but in these ones I'm not using them extra unless I have to get gold on them. But at least they're not like the worst thing I've ever laid eyes on. Coming in at 47th place in the first one for the bad tier is the FHJ-18 AA from Black Ops 2. Anti-air is what that stands for. Yeah, I'm a smart guy. It's a stinger for Black Ops 2, clearly. It's a lock-on launcher. You can't dumbfire this thing, so it's just a lock-on launcher. It's fine for locking on. I don't like lock-on launchers. Spoiler alert, but that's gonna be like the majority of the lock-on launchers. That's what I'm gonna say for them. So let's go. Let's move on. Coming in at 46th place, get this thing out of my sight, please, for the love of God. It's going to the Howitzer from Infinite Warfare. Again, I don't really have too much time played with Infinite Warfare launchers because I don't really have too much time played on Infinite Warfare. But I do remember using the Howitzer, and I remember wanting to punch myself in the face and then pick my nose right in front of a crowd of pretty women. It is not a good thing at all. It looks weird. Let's just get that out of the way. It looks like almost like a shotgun, kind of, which don't understand what the design choice was there. Infinite Warfare has some really wacky design choices, especially with their launchers, but the blast radius of this thing feels like you're just trying to splash some like water on the ground and hoping that the water hits their legs or something. This thing sucks. It's so bad. It does no damage. You would have better luck just asking them to pass away. Coming in at 45th place honestly wasn't even that bad. It's not the worst launcher on planet Earth or anything like that until I tried to get gold for it. Well, dark matter more importantly. The HE1 from Black Ops 6. Gold itself, I don't really remember being too much of a problem. It was the destroy like 3 kill streaks in a game 10 times or whatever. That was a problem. That was a unbelievable nightmare with this thing. Again, the launcher itself, whatever. It's fine. It's dumbfire. It's faster handling than the Sigma 2B. Launches in Black Ops 6 are both very forgettable, let's be honest. But you have to shoot down kill streaks with this thing, and let me tell you, shooting down kill streaks with dumbfire launchers in Call of Duty is one of the most painful experiences you could ever do in your entire life. Giving birth is like second place to shooting down UAVs with a dumbfire launcher in Call of Duty. Coming in at 44th makes negative sense to me, man. I don't understand how this weapon even exists. It's the Panzerschreck from Call of Duty World War II. The Panzerschreck in World at War, again, we're not talking about it because it is a perk, but the Panzerschreck in World at War is rolling over in its grave right now at the looks of that. Thing was freaking gross in World at War. That thing was so good. And then this came along in what in God, is it even possible to kill somebody with the Panzerschreck? I have multiple times now used this weapon to try and kill enemies on shipment with it because I have a challenge to kill 15 enemies with a launcher as one of my daily challenges. And I've tried it with the Panzerschreck. This thing is massive. It should hit like a truck. It's slow to handle, and it doesn't kill enemies at all. The M1 bazooka is 1,000 times better. Coming in at 43rd place, another lock-on launcher. Same thing I said earlier with the the Black Ops 2 one, and it applies to this one. It's the Stinger from MW2, the OG MW2. Yeah, it's a lock-on launcher. You can't dumbfire it. Again, I don't really know what else to say about these ones, man. They all lock on. They all just fire at the thing. I guess it's kind of cool because it was like MW2, so it did it first, but whatever. 42nd place, would you look at that? It's going to the Stinger from MW3. It's the exact same, my friend. The only reason why I am putting the MW3 variant one spot higher is I feel like it's going to be a little bit more useful. On MW2, there's really not that many times where like the Stingers come out to play. It's really just Harriers, I would say, Harriers, and that's pretty much it. You can't really, I don't really think you can take down a chopper gunner with it because it's just so, you'll just die immediately. There's no spawn protection against kill streaks in MW2. MW3, I feel like, I don't know, it's just my opinion, I feel like there's more aerial kill streaks more often in MW3 than MW2. Either way, they're the exact same thing though, both really boring. Coming in at 41st place, however, barely missing out of the wonderful top 40 here, is going to the M1 bazooka from World War II. Yeah, I said it's better than the Panzerschreck, but not by much. World War II launchers are quite literally the most useless explosives I think I've ever seen, which makes no sense because the explosives themselves, frag grenades, C4s, sticky grenades, in World War II are unbelievably gross. They will kill enemies from 7,000 yards away. You could be sleeping in your bed in America, and somebody can accidentally light off a frag grenade from World War II in Afghanistan, and you would die. It is insane how every other explosive in this game is extremely powerful except for the launchers. I don't know what they were doing, but you like cannot kill enemies with launchers in World War II. This thing sucks. However, breaking its way into the top 40, my good friends, is a kind of weird looking weapon, and that's kind of the reason why it's all the way down here. The Mark 11 launcher from Call of Duty Vanguard. Again, one of the games I don't have too much time played with any of the launchers in this game. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I've played with the Mark 11 launcher. They probably haven't, if I'm being honest. But based off gameplay, it doesn't look good. It looks very, very bad. It's another one of those like weird, like quick and obviously meant to kill enemies launchers. There's a couple of those, like the Howitzer, the China Lake, things like that, where it's like, yeah, this is clearly meant to just take out enemies. And those tend to not work for some reason. It's like does the opposite of what it's intended to do. It always has like the worst splash radius known to mankind and does negative damage. So that's what this one looks like. Coming in at 39th place, however, is a lot better than the two Javelins for one reason and one reason only. It's the Joker from MW22. The reason why I'm saying this is better than the Javelins is actually not because the weapon itself actually feels better than the Javelins. It's because of the game it's in. MW22 has shipment 24/7. Shipment is the only game mode in Call of Duty, or the only map in Call of Duty history where using a Javelin is actually a viable option, and that is absolutely it. This thing can do some freaking damage on Shipment. You can get quads, triple kills all the time because it's so easy to use on those maps. You literally just spawn in, aim at the opposite side of where you spawned, shoot a missile, shoot another one at the other side of where you spawned, die, do it again, and by the time you respawn, the rockets are going to be coming down and might kill a couple enemies. It's fun to do, actually, as a matter of fact, and I do like it, so I'm putting it a little bit higher, but it's still useless on every other map. Yeah, in 38th place, again, exact same thing, man. This is why we had to just rip off the band-aid when it came to the launchers video. I knew this wasn't going to be a fun video. It was definitely not going to be entertaining at all. I mean, dude, they're all the same. But either way, 38th place is the Joker from MW19. Yeah, it's literally the exact same thing as MW22. It's here for the same reason as the MW22 version is. MW19 had a shipment 24/7. Now it doesn't anymore, so that is a little bit unfortunate, I guess. But overall, it's the same exact weapon. All right, coming in at 37th place, however, in the final one for the bad tier, before I get into the average tier, is going to the M1 bazooka from Call of Duty Vanguard. They improved on it from World War II. I'll give it credit where credit is due. It's definitely a little bit stronger than World War II. I do have some time played with this weapon in Vanguard. I know I do. And it was fine, you know, not bad or anything, but it's a dumbfire only, so taking down kill streaks with it, gonna be a bit of a pain in the rectum, if you will. Alrighty, lads. Now we are into the average tier. So the launchers in this tier, I'm not gonna recommend anybody to use them, that's for sure, but like, are they a horrible option? Nah, I guess not. If the default class has one as a secondary already equipped to it and they call in a kill streak, sure, it makes sense to switch to this and use it. 36th place is going to the Venom X in Infinite Warfare. Okay, I take that back immediately because no, this does not make sense to use it here. The Venom X is not meant to take down kill streaks. It's almost like, if you guys remember the Hive specialist ability in Black Ops 3, it's kind of like that. You shoot these like weird little spludges on the ground. It's a COD Ghost Extinction wonder weapon that's brought into multiplayer. Sounds like it'd be broken, right? Because we've all wished about that, you know, bring the ray gun into multiplayer, bring the wonder waff into multiplayer. It's nowhere near as good as it sounds. It's very, very weak. Coming in at 35th place, however, I'm again just not the biggest fan of this thing at all. Cool name, I'll give it that, but everything else about it not cool. The Mayhem from Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare, I truly believe from the bottom of my heart, has probably the most forgettable rocket launchers of all time. It's honestly just one of the most forgettable CODs of all time, but the launchers in it in particular are just, oh my god, forgettable, and the Mayhem is one of them. Dude, what in God, this is clearly like the small, this is the bazooka gun of Advanced Warfare, but Advanced Warfare actually does have a couple really, really good launchers. Again, still forgettable, but they're actually pretty good, and so the Mayhem just doesn't hold up. It's also really slow to handle, and Advanced Warfare, you kind of want to be fast handling. Okay, coming in at 34th place, at least, is a massive increase from its cousin there, the Panzerschreck from Vanguard. It's not as good as the World at War Panzerschreck. Let's just get that right out of the way. That gun was so cool, man. God, they butchered my boy for sure. But it is a little bit better than the World War II one. Do I think it's like miles better? Do I think it's like worth writing home about over the World War II? Not in the slightest bit. No, it's still pretty weak. For like, the thing that drives me nuts, dude, is the Panzerschreck is a massive Call of Duty. It takes forever to run around with this thing. It is a huge weapon. It should fire a big rocket that does a lot of damage, and it freaking doesn't. And that drives me nuts. Now, the Panzerschreck is better for taking down kill streaks than the M1 bazooka, but not by much. 33rd place is kind of the complete opposite. It doesn't take down kill streaks, but it can do some damage to players. It's the MK32 from Call of Duty Ghosts. It's one of those war machine style drum fed not drum fed, like revolver fed, I guess, launchers in COD history, which sometimes are really, really good, and then sometimes they are just straight anus. And this is one that's just straight anus, man. It's not good. It's kind of fast handling, which I guess is actually not that bad, but there's another much better, like, human killing launcher in COD Ghosts, and so it just kind of makes absolutely zero sense why you would ever use the MK32. Okay, I did lie a little bit there. There is one chance that you would use the MK32, and that's for Extinction. Extinction is actually pretty good because it can help you destroy the hives. But besides that, that's about it. 32nd place is going to the M320 GLM from MW3. This is like an underbarrel launcher that you can actually hold in your hands. It's just like a regular weapon. And so that means obviously that you are not using it to destroy kill streaks. It shoots grenades out of it, and if you shoot it too close to you, it will not go off. You can impact hit some people with it though, which is pretty fun to do. It's obviously one of the more fast handling weapons in MW3, which is very fun to do. But again, MW3 has weapons that can both lock on and dumbfire, so there's really no point in using one that doesn't. And coming in at 31st place, see, this is not bad. It's still a little bit of an insult, but not that bad. Barely missing out in the top 30 here is going to the Max GL from Black Ops 3. The reason why I'm saying it's not bad, but it's still a little bit of an insult, is because this is actually a DLC weapon again. And yes, as you know, Black Ops 3, you have to open supply drops to get DLC weapons. And no, there's no such thing as armory credits in Black Ops 3, so you just have to open supply drops. And yeah, if you get a Max GL as your launcher, as your DLC weapon in a supply drop, you're probably going to start driving over to Treyarch headquarters until your dad calls you and says, "No, what are you doing? Stop doing that. That's a really bad decision." Then you'll drive back home. But it's at least like a somewhat viable, somewhat cool option over the L4 Siege. The L4 Siege is just like, golly, get that out of my face. This is a remaster of the China Lake. You know, that's cool. It actually does a pretty good amount of damage, which is cool as well. It's a cool weapon. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's fun to use, but you're still not going to be excited getting it. However, breaking its way into the wonderful top 30, my good friends, is going to the RGL 80 from MW23, the new MW3. This is fine because of the game it's in. Again, it's pretty much an MK32 from COD Ghosts, but in Modern Warfare 23, which means that it is a little bit better just because of the faster movement. And having a massive 7,000-pound launcher in your hands doesn't automatically mean that you're going to need a wheelchair to get around the map. You can walk around a little bit and do some things with it. Now, is it good? Not necessarily. It's okay on maps like Shipment because you can just run it right into the middle and just start blasting shots down there and you might get a kill or two. But it's still very, very weak for a launcher. You're going to have to shoot a guy 3 or 4 times right at the feet in order for him to die, and that shouldn't be possible with a launcher. Alrighty, lads. Coming in at 29th place, holds a little bit of a special place in my heart. I like it, is what I'm trying to say. It's a cool gun, and I do enjoy it a little bit, but it's still definitely a little bit of an insult. It's the M72 Law from Black Ops 1. Just, first of all, the name. M72 Law. Like, alright, now I'm wet. You know what I mean? That's a good name. That's a good name, God. That's cool. The launcher itself, it's this game's version of, you know, a bazooka. It's just the typical launcher. You start with it. It's your starting launcher in Black Ops 1, and it's fine. It does the job. You know, you're not going to be writing home about it. It's a little slow, obviously. It's a heavier launcher. But overall, again, it does the job. It's fine. Blah, blah, blah. However, coming in at 28th place in the first game to go, the first game to drop off here, is going to the Panzerfaust from Vanguard. It is, in my opinion, the best Vanguard launcher, but it is the worst of the best, if that makes any sense. It's still really, really freaking average and really boring and not that great or anything, but at least it is the best in Vanguard. This is clearly supposed to be a weapon that you use to kill enemies, but it actually can take down kill streaks if you're good enough at aiming this thing. It's an absolute pain in the rectum, I've heard, though, to aim it, but it's very fast handling, and that's pretty much what you need. That's pretty much all that you need in a launcher if you are going to be killing enemies with it, and this is the only one in Vanguard that feels that way. Coming in at 27th place, I don't have any time played with it myself, but I have seen it be used, so there we go. It's the P-Law from Infinite Warfare. One of the weirdest looking weapon. It looks like an SMG, it looks like the Ripper SMG, just with the world's largest barrel of all time. Infinite Warfare obviously has some really wacky designs. I don't think most of them worked, if I'm being honest, but they have some wacky designs, and that it is what it is. But most of them I don't think work that well. This one definitely didn't. It looks kind of silly, but I never used it myself, but I got somebody in a lobby one time using it against me, and it seemed pretty deadly. It was a pretty lethal weapon. It's killing me once or like with one shot most of the time. He was doing pretty good with it, so it's got to be a pretty decent gun. I don't think it's like broken or anything like that, but it's fine. It is what it is. And coming in at 26th place, however, in the final one for the average tier, before we get into the good tier, is going to be going to the China Lake from Black Ops 1. We all love it. It's an iconic gun. It is super iconic. We all like it. But in terms of actually using it, it's not the best. It's cool, but the fact that you even still have to aim down sights with this is a little annoying. I feel like, I know it's Black Ops 1 and it's older COD and it's a little bit slower paced, so it makes sense, I guess, but like, I feel like this gun, you should have just been able to like just fire it at the hip, man. Like, you don't need to aim down sights with it. For those who don't know, this is obviously, it's like the Thumper from MW2. If you're a new gen kid, it's like the M79 from Black Ops Cold War. You have to, it's for killing people, but it doesn't really do that job too well. Super cool weapon, but a little bit disappointing. All right, now we are into the good tier. So the guns in this tier are fine. You know what I mean? Are you gonna be excited to use them? Or are you gonna not have a headache trying to get gold for them? No, you'll have the biggest headache of all time and have to down a whole entire bottle of ibuprofen. But they're at least something somewhat viable. And coming in at 25th place in the first one for the good tier is the RPG-7 from Black Ops Cold War. I think it's the worst of all the RPGs. I've been playing Black Ops Cold War quite a bit recently, and the launchers already feel pretty weak in Black Ops Cold War, and the RPG-7 in particular just feels extremely weak. For those who don't know, by the way, the RPG in every single Call of Duty is a dumbfire launcher, but it's a little bit faster than most of the other lock-on launchers in the game, so that's kind of the caveat to it. The RPG also usually does have a pretty big splash damage, and on top of that, it looks freaking cool. So that's why it's in the good tier, but it still is a only dumbfire launcher, and it can be annoying to get these things gold. Coming in at 24th place, yet again, I'm just going to probably just fly through these ones because I think we all know what's about to happen. It's the RPG-7 from Modern Warfare 3, the OG MW3. Launchers are pretty much only useful if you're killing enemies, at least on small maps for the most part. And MW3 definitely has a very large map roster. As a matter of fact, the smallest map in that game is Dome, and Dome itself doesn't even really feel like a small map. It kind of just feels like a medium-sized map. So I just don't think launchers are that great in the game. Not that the RPG-7 in this game is any worse than the other RPGs. I just think it's probably the same as the MW2 one as well, as a matter of fact, but it's just the maps. And coming in at 23rd place, oh my god, would you look at that? It's the RPG-7 from MW19. This one's all the way down here because the fact that again, dude, if you're using the launchers nowadays, it's to get gold on them, okay? Let's be honest. And getting gold on the MW19 launcher is obviously going to be extremely painful, like we already talked about earlier with the Strela P. It's a lot better than the Strela P, but still a very, very annoying gun to get gold. And it does get a little bit higher because you got Shipment 24/7, Shoot House 24/7, Shoot the Rusty Ship is what they were calling it at one point with Rust in there. But still, it's the RPG, man. 22nd place, oh my god. This is probably one of the most boring, stupid video ideas of all time. I'm just, why, like, I'm sorry that if you are watching at this point, man, I'm sorry. I don't know how you're doing it. This is the most stupid idea ever. Because it's the RPG-7 from MW22. Yep, it's the same one. It's the exact same one. Same thing I said about the Strela P earlier applies to this one. The only reason why it's one spot higher than the MW19 version is because it's going to be a little bit easier to get gold, since the challenges are a little bit easier to do than MW19s. But besides that, it's the exact same thing, and I don't like it. I'm sorry that I'm a completionist and I had to do every class or else I wouldn't feel right, because this is what happens. Coming in at 21st place, barely missing out in the top 20. All right, we're just going to break through it now. RPG from Black Ops 1. It is the second game to drop off. Black Ops 1's best launcher in the game, in my opinion, is the RPG. This game does have one lock-on launcher, but it's not a dumbfire also launcher, so in my opinion, it becomes useless. And so that means that if you're going to have a launcher, it's going to be a dumbfire one, and you want it to be the best of both worlds. While the China Lake is a little bit too weak, the M72 Law is a little bit too slow, the RPG-7 is a perfect combination of both. So I put it the best as Black Ops 1's, and I'm moving on. Breaking its way into the top 20. I'm not even really excited to say breaking today because it's a really boring one. It's the RPG from Black Ops 2. It's actually fine. Black Ops 2 launchers did feel a little bit strong in terms of killing enemies, so that's a good thing. And it's a different design. It's not the exact same looking launcher as all the other RPGs that we've talked about so far. So that's pretty cool as well. Black Ops 2 went for a slightly futuristic vibe on the RPG, and I gotta give credit where credit is due. That's pretty cool. I like it. It's still an RPG though. Moving on. And coming in at 19th place. I promise this is the last RPG, man. I promise. It's the best RPG version. It's actually the first RPG we've ever got too. The RPG-7 ×2 in MW2 is what it's called in game, so I'm calling it here. Pretty much what it means though is you have 2 rockets to shoot, whereas the majority of other MW2 weapons you only have 1, so they don't say ×2 on them. The reason why it's the best of the bunch is because of Dead Man's Pack, or whatever that thing is called. No Man's Hand, hand job for Randy table for 2, whatever that thing is called. It's obviously makes launchers actually a pretty viable option in MW2, which freaking sucks. Noob tubes in MW2 were a nightmare to deal with. So it's the best of the RPGs, but it's still a freaking RPG. And coming in at 18th place, this is the other gun that we were talking about earlier when we were talking about the MK32 in COD Ghost, the Castet in COD Ghost. The Castet, whatever you want to call it in COD Ghost. I do think it's a pretty decent human killing weapon in COD Ghost. You can get some like pretty crazy. It's another like underbarrel launcher style weapon like the M320 GLM from MW3. It's very similar to that weapon, but it does feel a lot better. It feels like the arch of this launcher goes a lot farther and just has a bigger splash radius. Is more reliable, more convenient to use, more fast and everything. I think it's a lot better than other human killing weapons that we've talked about so far, but it still can be a little weak, and since you can't take down kill streaks with it, gonna be a little bit down there. Now the only thing I will say though, credit where credit is due, COD Ghost doesn't have airborne UAVs. It's the only one that decided to put the UAVs on the ground for God knows what reason, so you don't really need to shoot down kill streaks that often, so at least that's something. However, coming in at 17th place, and the third game to drop off here, is going to the Spartan SA3 from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Yeah, why did I say it like that? Infinite Warfare. Yeah, Infinite Warfare is the third weapon to drop off. Again, I don't think the vast majority of Infinite Warfare launchers were that great. They just didn't really do too great. I do believe this one is lock-on though, so you know that's something. And it is Infinite Warfare, and I forgot to mention this with every other Infinite Warfare one, so I guess I'll mention it now. You can actually put attachments on your launchers in Infinite Warfare. I believe it's the only game that lets you do that, which is actually pretty cool. So credit where credit is due on that too. You can make the Spartan SA3 a little better. It's definitely the best of all the launchers in Infinite Warfare. It's not the fastest handling or anything. I think that would go to the P-Law. That thing is so quick. But it's a good combo again of both taking down launchers and killing enemies, and so that's obviously what we're looking for. And coming in at 16th place and the final one for the good tier before we get into the amazing tier, and the fourth game to drop off here is going to the Panzerfaust from Call of Duty Ghosts. The best COD Ghost launcher, in my opinion, is the Panzerfaust because it's good for taking down the kill streaks and good for killing enemies. It hits like a freaking truck. It has a really good splash radius, as a matter of fact. But COD Ghost, I'm pretty freaking sure, again, not the smartest launcher guy out there, so somebody might have to let me know in the comments, but I don't think this is lock-on. I'm pretty sure every COD Ghost launcher is not lock-on, so they're all dumbfire, so that means that you still have to dumbfire it, but it's going to be the easiest to take down kill streaks with for sure. The launcher missile goes fast, and so it's definitely the best. A little bit slower, obviously, than things like the MK32 or the Castet, but it's the best. All right, but now we are into the amazing tier. So launchers in this tier are actually like have somewhat of like a good thought in my mind. You know what I mean? When I think of them, I'm like, yeah, that's a cool launcher. I like it. Coming in at 15th place is a perfect one to start, actually. It's the Maws from Advanced Warfare. Yeah, I like the Maws. It's cool. Is it the best launcher in the game? No, it's not the best launcher in the game. Not even close. But it's a good launcher. It's a pretty cool one. I like it. And it also has a cool name. Maws. I like that name. I don't understand why they added 2 A's there, but I'm pretty sure it stands for something goofy. But yeah, it's a good launcher. It's a dumbfire launcher, but it hits like a freaking truck. That's all you need to know, really. And coming in at 14th place and the start of the good ones is the AT4HS from MW2, the starting launcher in MW2. And the reason why I said the start of the good ones is because this is a launcher that can be both dumbfired and can lock on to kill streaks. Now, the only caveat to that, and the reason why the AT4HS is so low compared to the other ones, is it takes freaking forever for the AT4HS to actually lock onto a kill streak. So by the time you do, you'll be killed by that kill streak. So just keep that in mind. But the fact that it even is an option obviously means it's so much better than the others, because why would you pick a Stinger that can only lock on, or something that can RPG that can only dumbfire, when you can pick one that can do both? Yeah, in 13th place, and the 5th game to drop off, by the way, is going to the Sigma 2 from Black Ops Cold War. Their best Black Ops Cold War launcher is the Sigma 2. I'm pretty sure this game only had 2, if I'm remembering correctly, because it was just, the RPG and the Sigma 2, right? Thank God, by the way, because modern Call of Duty adding a bunch of launchers just to make their camo grinds harder is the biggest nightmare of all time. So I gotta give credit where credit is due. Both Black Ops Cold War and Black Ops 6 both only had 2 launchers that you had to get gold for, so that's cool. Either way, yeah, the Sigma 2, same thing as the AT4HS. It can lock on and dumbfire. Now the caveat to that is it takes a long time to lock on, and it's a very, very slow, heavy weapon to handle, but that's fine if you're using a launcher anyways. You already know that. And coming in at 12th place, yeah, it's the exact same weapon. It's the Sigma 2B from Black Ops 6. It's the 6th game to drop off here, by the way. 6th for Black Ops 6. Would you look at that? But yeah, it's again, Black Ops 6 only has 2 launchers in it, the HE1 and the Sigma 2B. Why would you choose the HE1 when the Sigma 2B does the exact same thing? The HE1 isn't even that fast handling either, so like it really makes no sense in choosing that over the Sigma 2B. It can be dumbfired and can lock on. Love it. I realized I just said love it at that launcher. I don't love a single launcher in COD history, so that was a lie. Either by coming in at 11th place, barely missing out on the top 10, and the 7th game to drop off here is going to the Thumper ×2 from MW2. Again, I gotta say ×2 because it says it in game, but yeah, it's just the only reason why it says that is because it has two ammo for it. For those who don't know, though, I know what you're thinking, well, this looks just like the China Lake. It is the China Lake. It's exactly that. But it was freaking busted in MW2. This thing had the fastest bullet velocity of any launcher I've ever seen in my entire life. It had insane damage for such a small, easy to handle weapon. It had 2 missiles in it in Black Ops, or Modern Warfare 2, I mean, where most of the launchers did not. And then you had that stupid man's thing again, manscaped. It had that on it as well, so you could keep re-upping, and it was an absolute nightmare. It was possible to get nukes with this, and you didn't even have to be the craziest player out there to do it. That's crazy. Alrighty, lads, breaking its way into the coveted, the wonderful, the amazing top 10 is going to the XM25 from MW3. This thing was every man's absolute biggest nightmare playing MW3, man. If you had a person on the enemy team that actually knew how to do good with the XM25, because I will be the first to admit, it's definitely not like a gun for everybody. It's very, very slow handling. But if you had somebody that knew what to do with this thing and they just started raining hell upon you, you were freaking cooked. If it was hardpoint, if it was domination, if it was not demolition, no, what's the drop zone, that game mode. I love the drop zone in MW3, by the way. But if it was drop zone and somebody was just started layering XM25 missiles into your freaking into the point that you were trying to secure or whatever, good luck. This thing would just clobber everyone, and it was so annoying, but that's because it was pretty good. Coming in at 9th place, man, it just makes me a little happy. Every time I think of this gun, I just get a little happy. It's going to the Pila from MW22. The 8th game, is it? Yeah, 8th game to drop off now. The 8th game to fall off the launcher ranking video. And it is going to MW22. The Pila is, again, a dumbfire. Also, though, you can lock on, same thing, weapon, just like guns like the AT4HS and the, what was the other one we were talking about? Sigma 2s. But the Pila just feels really good, especially in MW2 and MW19, where they had a lot of launchers, and you had to get gold for them, obviously, if you wanted Damascus or Orion. And so you would use all the others, Strela P, RPG, and it was a freaking nightmare every single time. And then the Pila was just such a nice breath of fresh air. I like it. It's a good gun. Coming in at 8th place, however, in the 9th game to drop off here, would you look at that? It's going to the Pila from MW19. Yeah, MW19 is the next one to drop off. It's the same thing as the MW22 Pila. Again, it did it first, so I'm putting it one spot higher than the MW22 one. But yeah, it's like literally the exact same. Moving on. Coming in at 7th place might just be a little bit of nostalgia, playing a little trick on my vocal cords here, because it's going to the small from MW3. It is the 10th game to drop off, by the way, here, the MW3. Yeah, the small in MW3 just feels the best. It is dumbfire only. It does not lock on. Keep that in mind. But it's so fast firing that you really don't need to lock on most of the time with the small, and so it kind of feels like a lock on, if you will. I know it's kind of cheating, but dude, it's my guilty pleasure weapon. I like the small. I've always have, always will. The small is just so cool, and the name is cool. Small, everything about it's cool. I like it. Coming in at sixth place, however, in the final one for the amazing tier, before we get into the best tier, and the 11th game to drop off, by the way, is going to the small in Black Ops 2. The best Black Ops 2 weapon, in my opinion, again, is the small. Same reason as to why the small in MW3 is. Black Ops 2 has what? The FHJ 18AA, right? That's a lock-on only. The RPG, it's dumbfire pretty much only because you're going to have a hard time taking down kill streaks with it. The small is, again, dumbfire, but also you can't lock on, I know, but it's very easy to actually shoot this at kills. It's nowhere near as hard as shooting like a Strela P at a UAV in MW19. It's much easier than doing that, and so I do think it's a little bit better. And it's also, again, just a guilty pleasure weapon. I love it. It just looks so cool. But now we are into the best tier. And I promise I didn't put any guilty pleasure weapons in this tier. These are just genuinely good weapons. Coming in at 5th place in the first one for the best tier. And the 12th game, I think it is, to drop off now is going to the Stinger M7 from Advanced Warfare. This is lock-on only. It's not dumbfire, so I know what you're saying. How does it get this high? You don't like the lock-on onlys, right? You're right, you are right. But did you forget that Advanced Warfare had exosuits? Did you forget that? And since they're electronics and metal, that means that the Stinger M7 can lock on to the exosuits on your enemies and literally kill them by a direct hit all the time. It takes a long time, obviously, to lock onto them in an Advanced Warfare game with a very advanced movement. Obviously, that might not always be an option, but the fact that you even can is so freaking cool and so awesome. And I gotta give, that is so, like, that is just so creative, and I love it. I like that they did that, and even if it's not actually like an incredible weapon to use, it really isn't. It's still so awesome, and so I'm putting it in the best tier. Gosh darn it. Coming in at 4th place, however, and the 13th game I want to say to drop off now, is going to the XM53 from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This might just be my my nostalgia talking, my Black Ops 3 glaze talking here, because you guys know how much I freaking love Black Ops 3. But yeah, I like the XM53. It's another one of those dumbfire, but also you can lock on weapons, blah blah blah. We talked about it time and time again. But the XM53 just feels so freaking good. And especially, okay, here's the thing with jetpack era CODs, you can go above them and then shoot down, which makes using launchers a lot easier, because you obviously most of the time you're going to hit their feet. You're not going to hit a guy with a launcher direct hit most of the time, so you're trying to hit their feet. But sometimes it's hard to do when they're like 20 feet away from you and you're lined up directly with them on like the same elevation. That won't happen most of the time. You have to hope that there's like a wall behind them. But if you're in a jetpack game, you just fly up into the air real quick and shoot it down at them. It's just awesome. The XM53 is so good. It locks on super fast. It's such a good weapon. All right, but y'all knew it was coming, man. Y'all already knew it was coming. 3rd place, man, the bronze medal and the actual best true launcher, because spoiler alert, but the top 2 are crossbows. But so the actual best true launcher, in my opinion, is going to the Helion Salvo, which is the 14th game to drop off now with Black Ops 4, obviously. Black Ops 4 had one launcher in it, and it is, in my opinion, the best launcher. That's how you freaking do it, Black Ops 4. Good job. I'm not even a big Black Ops 4 fan. I like it, but I'm not like I don't think it's the most like average Call of Duty of all time. But that's how you do launchers, man. You come out swinging, you're like, you know what? We're making one launcher, but it's going to be freaking iconic. The Helion Salvo is great. It does everything you need it to. It locks on and it dumbfires. It's fine in multiplayer, just like the XM53. But why is it all the way up here? Because of zombies. This thing is a freaking actual wonder weapon. It's literally better than most wonder weapons in Black Ops 4 zombies. It is that good. The Helion Salvo is freaking broken in zombies. You literally will spin the box looking for a launcher. That's the first time and only time in COD history that I've ever done that. It's that good. Like, that is so awesome. It's so iconic for the zombies players, and I love it. It's getting the best launcher of all time. It's a dumbfire and lock on as well for multiplayer players. It's just good in every regard. All right, but 2nd place, and again, I know these aren't technically launchers, but they're in the launchers class, so that's why they're included here. And obviously, they're gonna beat the launchers because they're just better than them in every way. So it's kind of a little bit of a anticlimactic ending. I'm sorry, but what do you want me to do? Lie? I'm not gonna lie. These are the best. 2nd place is the crossbow from World War II, and it is obviously the 15th game to drop off here. 2nd best game, 2nd best launcher in COD history, and yeah, it's a crossbow. Crossbows are freaking fun, man. They're fun to use, and when their competition is launchers, they're also very good to use. Now, in the tactical rifles video, it was the complete opposite. They ranked almost dead last in the tactical rifles because they're obviously not as good as bullet shooting weapons are. They're a fun weapon. They're meant to just like get funny clips with and stuff like that. But against launchers, obviously, they're a lot better. You can go pick up your bullets. You can get scavenger packs and get re-up on bullets most of the time. They're just a lot better, man. And they're fun to use. They're cool, and yeah, I like them. I like the crossbow in World War II, though, does feel a little weak for the crossbows, for sure, but it's still much better than the other one. And yeah, 1st place, man, I'm sorry. I know you guys are probably like disappointed. If you're true launcher fans, if you guys are like the biggest launcher enthusiasts of all times, and you guys are like, God dang it. But man, I'm sorry. It is just the best launcher. It's the Torque 35 from MW23, and obviously it is the 16th game to drop off. I know you're probably thinking, wait a minute, Mark, there's 18 Call of Duties, not including the first 3 in Call of Duty Mobile. What happened there? How's it only 16? Remember, COD 4 and World at War we're not including here, so obviously those did not get here. But yeah, Torque 35. It's not even actually a crossbow. It's a literal like compound bow. It's like a bow and arrow, and it's so much freaking fun to use. It is so fun to use, and actually a pretty decent option if you know how to aim. If you want to know how to aim, this is probably one of the best crossbows we've ever gotten in COD history. But maybe that's a good video to ranking all crossbows. You know what? Adding that to the list. But either way, yeah, it's probably one of the best crossbows you could possibly use in COD history, and it is fun. It's cool, and it's my opinion the best launcher of all time. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video ranking all 55 launchers in Call of Duty history. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos I'd see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo. And guys, again, please let me know in the comment section down below if you guys would like to see me do Let's Plays and playthroughs or whatever it may be of other games that aren't just Call of Duty on this channel, or if you strictly want me to do just specifically Call of Duty, or if you think I should do it but on a different channel. Let me know what you guys are thinking, man. It's all up to you. You guys are the viewers after all, so whatever you guys say goes. Okay. As for the remaining classes, what are we gonna do next? I'm thinking and I'm actually kind of thinking that we will do maybe LMGs next. Why? Because it's kind of fun. I feel like it's gonna be a really fun class to do. I don't know. I feel like nobody ever really talks about LMGs, but everybody uses them. You know what I mean? Like everybody's used them at least, almost every LMG, I guarantee, at least once, as long as you've played the COD, obviously. And you've probably used the LMGs in them, and you probably just like kind of have like mixed opinions about them. Don't really think about your opinions because they're such a weird class. Sometimes they're really good, like Infinite Warfare, for example. They were broken in Infinite Warfare. MW2, the OG, they were really good in MW2. But then sometimes they're really, really bad. Like Black Ops 1, they were not good in Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2, they were really good. COD Ghosts, they were pretty good. Most modern CODs are pretty bad in because they're just not fast enough, and that's obviously all movement based nowadays. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do LMGs next. That's a fun one, and it's not too big. Obviously, I think we're gonna end with assault rifles. I think that's a good way to ending because assault rifles are the biggest class in COD history. Obviously, it's going to take the longest to do them, and it's probably one of the most anticipated classes for me to make the video on. So I think it's good to just build up some suspense on the advanced war, or what am I saying, on the assault rifles class. So yeah, I think we'll do that one last. But either way, let me know what you guys are thinking, which class you guys think I should do next. And das vidanya. Have a nice night.